Hello there, welcome to the garden. We are getting some nice summery weather here, and in the spirit of that, I picked up a bunch of really fun summer annuals. I'm going to be moving the containers around a little bit, doing a little bit of change out here in the garden, and I'm going to put together a big fun kind of full summery container today, and I thought I would just take you through the container recipe and share a little bit of that process. This is going to be one of the flowers in the container. This is a Star Maker Lime Purple Bicolor Nicotiana. I love Nicotiana. They're so pretty, and I feel like they really fit with my kind of, I don't know, I've got kind of like a cottagey, sort of a little bit cottage garden-y kind of look that I'm going for this year. So I thought those would be really pretty for it. I'm hoping they'll do well. I have had a little trouble with Nicotiana in the past and with having pests be on them. Sometimes they get like some aphids, but we'll see how they do. So that's gonna be one. And then in with that, I'm going to put some of this. This is the Rockin' Blue Suede Shoes Salvia, which is like a really true blue salvia. It's so pretty and really pretty next to that kind of red. So I think that's going to be a really stunning combination, those two. And then we're going to put this sunflower. This is a Suncredible Saturn. I grew the regular Suncredible last year, but the Saturn has that fun kind of red ring, which hopefully, you know, with these two, once it all starts blooming, will be a really kind of, yeah, perfect summery look. And then I have some of these flowers over here, some different fun things that I'm going to be kind of mixing in and around the garden, but I may add one of these yellow ice. I don't even know. Part shade. Okay, so I may put this on the sort of shadier side. Yeah, I'm just not quite sure. Part shade is it's kind of a good thing for me in this garden. This half of the garden gets, I would say, full sun. These kind of beds, they get at least 6 hours of sun. But the issue is that the south side of the garden is actually sort of the back of my garden. I typically look at it from the north. So sometimes having like a plant that's a little bit more of a part shade plant to stick actually in the front of a container actually ends up working better for me because they kind of get a little bit shaded. It's really nice if you're looking from the south, you know, at your garden, because then everything can kind of grow and get the sunlight it needs and work a little bit better. But since my north side is sort of the front of the container, I think that part shade might be really fun, and it might be cute to have it kind of like the little daisies with the sunflowers. We'll see. This is the container that we're going to be filling. I've got some lettuce in here. I'm going to pull this out. I'm still harvesting a little bit of it, but honestly, I've got a lot of other containers of lettuce, and we're getting to the end of lettuce season. This week it's going to be all in the 80s Fahrenheit, and you know, all this lettuce is going to start bolting. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to dig out a little bit of the soil, and then we'll plant in all the plants. I'm just going to get my bag for the lettuce to compost. This is such a fun time of year. I love when we get into the season when we're doing lots and lots of containers. And yeah, I'm kind of mixing all the containers around right now because I just sometimes I end up doing that, taking a couple containers apart and moving things. It's just part of the process. Okay, so I ended up changing a couple things, adding a couple different plants. So I will take you through those. This is one of those containers that I think we're gonna wanna watch throughout the season. Right now it looks okay, but it's gonna start looking better and better and better the more the plants start to really bloom and grow together and kind of fill out, although it is already fun. So here it is. And as I said, yeah, this is a container that needs to fill out. This is not as much of an instant impact. So the Suncredible sunflower will start to bloom. Of course, the Nicotiana is already gorgeous. We've got the Salvia. And then I actually threw in a Gara. I absolutely love Gara. This is a, let's see, it's a Belza white Gara. The Gara is gonna do this like floaty thing and have all these little white spears here and there. It's gonna be really pretty as the season goes on, and it'll fill in amongst the container. And then in the front, again, thinking that this is gonna be kind of in the shade, I added some Terrenia. So this is called Summer Wave Bouquet, and it's a beautiful Terrenia. This is a great plant for hummingbirds and pollinators, and it does take more shade. So as the rest of the container starts to grow and fill in and take up the sun, that Terrenia will still do okay, even though it's going to be a little bit shaded. You can kind of see right now what the sun is doing. It's right about noon, 1 o'clock right now, and so you can see that already the shadow is going to start to be cast on these front flowers. So I think that's going to end up being pretty perfect. And I'm liking the look of this container. I wanted to be able to look at it from a few different sides. I think it's going to pick up the different colors. I did end up adding that Nicotiana that has a little bit of red, because it kind of picks up on some of the other bits of red I have in my garden. I don't have a ton of red this year, but I have a little bit, like in the hay rack window box, there's a little bit of some red orangey tones, and then also in the Nemesia right there. We've got some of these kind of like reddy, rusty red tones. So I wanted to highlight that. And I also have a bunch of zinnias planted that I know as they start to grow up, they're gonna be in this kind of reddy tone as well, and sort of the apricot colors. So I wanted to make sure that we still had that kind of incorporated. And of course the sunflower too has a little bit of those tones. So that will all pick that up just as we get going further in the season. I get so inspired when I'm out at the garden center just picking up plants and looking at things that sometimes for me it's hard to remember the whole vision of the garden. So I have to keep remembering that I've got these tones, I've got these red colors, I've got these different colors that I want to pick up and I want to have sprinkled around throughout the garden. But I think we've accomplished that with that container, and I think it's just going to turn into this big, huge, wonderful, wild container as the season goes on. At least that's the plan. So I'm excited to see that container develop. I got little baby girl out here with me in her little play swing. So it is the next day. We've got a bit of rain, and I came back out here because I realized I didn't quite finish off this video. But I'm already loving looking down at the container and seeing the beautiful Nicotiana and everything. It's looking so good out here in the garden. And especially this red next to the blue of the clematis, I think is so fun. So I just can't wait until the sunflower starts blooming. And I've been really trying to monitor how much sunlight this space is getting. So I moved the big container over to this side of the archway because I had it over there and it doesn't get quite as much sun. But I really have to always kind of keep an eye on the different spaces and the sun, and especially as things start to grow over the arch, I'm gonna kind of be always monitoring how that goes. It really takes quite a bit of watching your garden to really see and checking out different times of day and everything. But I think this is going to be, at least for now, it's a good full sun spot. I wanted to come out here and do a few more chores tonight, although I don't know how much I'm going to get done because it is it's actually pretty rainy and we're kind of like in between rain showers, but everything is just taking off because of this rain. I mean, rain is such an amazing thing for the garden. Everything's looking so happy. Things are growing like just like crazy. I'm gonna have to do more of a full tour. But for now, I will just say this container is going to be one to watch. I'm so excited to follow its growth, and yeah, it's just gonna be super pretty. I'm coming up here tomorrow, I think, to try to get some more of these containers set up, since I did move things around, and plant more flowers. So stay tuned and I will keep you posted on everything that we're planting out here. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.